the far reaches of the Andros galaxy, near the edge of known space, a strange signal echoed through the void. It came from a place the Galactic Empire had long stopped watching, a dead zone, quiet for centuries. Inside a command center on the Imperial flagship Dominance, alarms rang, red lights flashed. Officers rushed to their stations. Commander Velis, a sharp-eyed woman in a black uniform, stared at her screen. "Unidentified vessel detected in Sector X9, she said. "Massive size. Unknown design. It's broadcasting." In an ancient Earth language. High Admiral Krell Vorn entered the command deck. He moved slowly, but each step felt heavy, like thunder. His gray eyes narrowed as he looked at the screen. "Play the signal," he ordered. A voice, calm and deep, spoke through the speakers. "This is Captain James Carter of the human vessel Revenant. We are not here to surrender. We are here to be seen." The room went silent. Vorn's face darkened. "Impossible," he muttered. "Humans are extinct. Earth burned 300 years ago." "Sir," said Velis, "that ship is real. It's bigger than a dreadnought. And its energy signature, it's old. Older than anything in our records." Another officer added, "It just jumped from dark space. No known ship can survive that." Vorn clenched his jaw. "Send a fleet. Now, I want that ship gone." Far away aboard the Revenant, Captain James Carter stood on the bridge of his warship. He looked out at the stars through the wide view window. His uniform was plain, gray with no rank symbols, but the way he stood, tall and steady, made it clear he was in command. "Signal sent?" he asked. "Yes, Captain," replied his communications officer, a young woman named Rhea. "They've heard us." "Good." He turned to face his crew. "The Empire believes humans are extinct. Today we remind them we are not." The crew nodded. They were few, only a handful on board, but each of them had grown up in hiding, living in secret colonies across dead worlds. The Revenant was their legacy, built from old Earth tech, hidden for decades, waiting for the right moment. "Do you think they'll come after us?" Rhea asked quietly. Carter gave a small grim smile. "Yes, and we're ready." Outside, the ship hovered like a silent giant. Its dark hull blended with space. Unlike Imperial ships, the Revenant had no sharp edges or glowing lights. It was quiet, ancient, and deadly. In the distance, Imperial ships moved, fast, angry. A storm was coming. But Captain James Carter didn't flinch. He had come to wake a sleeping galaxy. The Revenant drifted quietly through the shadows of a dead star system. Its engines were off, making it nearly invisible. Only background radiation and a dim, burnt-out sun lit the darkness around it. Inside the ship, Captain James Carter walked through the main corridor. The walls were lined with thick metal and old Earth symbols, signs of a time long forgotten by the galaxy. Every part of the ship had history. Every panel and bolt had been rebuilt from the ruins of humanity's fall. Carter entered the command room. His crew stood around a large round table that showed a map of the nearby sectors. Red dots marked Imperial ships. They were moving fast, spreading across the galaxy like a net. "We won't stay hidden for long," said Rhea, his communications officer. Carter nodded. "That's not the plan. We didn't come to run. We came to show them the truth." Another crew member, a tall engineer named Malik, frowned. "They'll crush us. We're one ship. They have thousands. We have something they don't," Carter said calmly. "The truth, and a reason to fight." He tapped a button on the table. A small blue light flickered, and a hologram of Earth appeared. The crew stared at it. Some had never seen it before. "This was home," Carter said. "Burned during the last war. The Empire said we were gone. They lied. My grandfather survived. So did others. They built the Revenant, hid it in deep space, trained us for this." Rhea looked at him. "But why reveal ourselves now?" Carter looked out the nearby window at the stars. "Because we're ready, and the galaxy is waiting. People are tired of the Empire. They just need a spark. We are that spark." Silence filled the room. Then Malik spoke again, softer this time. "If we fail," Carter turned to face him, "then we die knowing we tried. But if we succeed, the galaxy remembers who we are." Later in his quarters, Carter sat alone, looking at a small photo. It was faded, torn at the edges. A woman smiled in the picture, his mother. She had died on a hidden moon colony. When he was just a boy, he remembered her words. "One day, James, you'll show them we're still out there." That day had come. A chime sounded at his door. Rhea walked in. "We picked up another signal," she said. "Encrypted, not Imperial." Carter raised his eyebrows. "Play it." A voice crackled through. It was broken but clear enough. "This is Outpost Theta. We heard your signal. Is it true? Are you human?" Carter stood up slowly. "Reply," he said. "Tell them yes, humanity is back." Outside, the ship shifted its position. Its engines stayed quiet. But inside, something had changed. Hope was spreading. High Admiral Krellvorn stood at the center of the Imperial War Council chamber. The room was wide, cold, and built from polished black metal. Large screens surrounded him, showing the image of the unknown ship again and again. The Revenant, the so-called human warship, moved like a shadow through space. "This can't be real," one general whispered. "It is real," Vorn said firmly. "We've confirmed the signal. We've confirmed the design. They're using Earth tech." Another officer, younger and nervous, asked, "But sir, humans were wiped out." "How they weren't?" Vorn cut him off. His voice was sharp. "We missed something. Some of them escaped. They've been hiding all this time, planning." He turned to his commanders. "This is not a lost ship. This is a weapon, built in secret, designed to challenge us." The room grew quiet. No one dared speak. "Order the fleet," Vorn said. "I want 20 ships sent to the outer rim. Track them, trap them, erase them." Far from the Empire's war rooms, the Revenant was already on the move. Its dark hull slipped through the shadows of Sector Zeta 14. Captain James Carter stood at the helm, watching the enemy's response unfold on the main screen. "They're coming faster than expected," Malik said. 20 ships at least." "We knew they would panic," Carter replied. "That's what fear does." Rhea looked up from her console. "We've received more encrypted messages from rebel groups." Outpost Theta wasn't the only one listening. "How many?" Carter asked. 7, maybe more. They're small groups, scattered, but they're asking the same question. "Is this real?" Carter nodded. "Then send them the truth." She pressed a few buttons. Across space, hidden colonies, smugglers and freedom fighters, received the same short message. "This is Captain James Carter, of the human warship Revenant. Humanity lives. The Empire lied. Stand by for more." Back in the Empire's fleet, Commander Velis sat aboard the lead ship Iron Fist. Her orders were clear. Find and destroy the Revenant. She studied the readings carefully. The ship didn't fly like anything she had seen before. "It disappears between scans," her technician said. "Cloaking? No, something else. Like it's slipping through space itself." "Stay sharp," Velis said. "That ship is a ghost, but ghosts can still be killed." Inside the Revenant, Carter gathered his crew. "They're coming," he said. "But we don't run. We move like we always have. Quiet, smart and fast. We lead them where we want them to go." He tapped the holographic map. A narrow pass through an asteroid field appeared. "We jump here. We draw them into the rocks. It'll limit their movement. We strike hard, then vanish." Rhea hesitated. "That's risky. We could lose the ship." Carter looked around at his small team. "We've already lost everything. What we do now isn't about survival. It's about truth. If we die, the galaxy will know we stood for something." No one argued. An hour later, the Revenant leapt into the asteroid field. Moments later, the Imperial fleet followed. Laser fire lit up the darkness. Asteroids shattered. Ships exploded. But the Revenant moved like a shadow, hitting fast, then vanishing behind cover. Velis shouted, "Where is it? Lock on." But every time they fired, Carter was already gone. After 12 minutes of battle, 5 Imperial ships were destroyed. The rest backed off, confused and shaken. Then, just like that, the Revenant was gone, vanished into the black. On the bridge, Carter stood calm. "Let them fear us," he said. "Let them wonder what else we've built in the dark." The Revenant floated in the silence of deep space, hidden in the remains of an ancient battlefield. Wrecked ships drifted around it. silent reminders of a war long forgotten. The crew moved quickly but quietly, checking systems, repairing minor damage from the last skirmish. Inside the engineering bay, Captain James Carter stood with Malik, the chief engineer. They stared at the glowing core of the Revenant, a rare piece of ancient Earth technology called a phase engine. "It's holding steady," Malik said, wiping sweat from his brow. "I don't know how, but this engine, it bends space, not just pushes through it. That's how we slip past their scans." Carter looked at the machine. It pulsed with a deep blue light, like a heartbeat. "My grandfather said it was found deep under the Arctic ruins of Earth," Carter said quietly. "Old tech, older than the war. Some say it wasn't even built by us." Malik raised an eyebrow. "You think it's alien?" Carter shook his head. "I don't know, but it works. And it's the only reason we're still alive." In the command room, Ra monitored new messages. More signals were coming in. Small, coded, scattered across distant sectors, hidden colonies. Rebel ships, lost Earth outposts. They were waking up. "Captain," she said over the intercom, "you should hear this." Carter arrived a moment later. On the screen, a message played. A bearded man in a dim room spoke directly to the camera. "This is Elias Vorn of the Sarn Resistance. I served the Empire for 20 years. I believed humans were gone, but I've seen your ship. I've seen the truth. Tell me what you want. People are ready to fight." Carter's eyes narrowed. "Vorn, related to Admiral Krell Vorn." Ra nodded. "His son, defected years ago." Carter sat down. "Then maybe not everyone in the Empire is blind." He stood and faced the crew, now gathered around him. "The Revenant was built for more than war. It's a symbol. It holds secrets the Empire fears. Our technology, our survival, our truth." He pressed a button on the wall, and a hidden panel opened. Inside was a long black cylinder. "The beacon," Carter said. "Once activated, it will send a full data burst to every sector. History, ship logs, genetic proof. Everything about who we are and what the Empire erased." Malik stared. "Why haven't we used it?" "Because once it's sent, they'll come with everything they have. No more hiding." The room fell silent. Then Raz spoke. "So what now?" Carter looked around at his tired, loyal crew. "We wait for the right moment. We don't just show them the truth. We make sure they hear it loud enough to shake the galaxy." Outside the ship, debris drifted in the stillness of space, but something had changed. The Revenant was no longer just a ship. It was a fuse, and the galaxy was full of dry powder. The message from the Revenant spread like a spark in dry grass. Across the galaxy, in hidden caves, old mining colonies, abandoned stations, and forgotten moons, people watched the transmission again and again. Captain James Carter's voice was steady. His words were clear. "We are human. We survived. The Empire lied. Stand by. The time is near." In the Sarn Resistance base, Elias Vorn, son of High Admiral Krell Vorn, stood before a group of fighters. The room was rough, filled with old weapons and worn uniforms, but hope lit their eyes for the first time in years. "This is it," Elias said. "We're not alone anymore. There's a warship out there. Earth tech. A real human captain. They've already damaged the Empire's fleet. If they can fight, so can we." The crowd cheered. Meanwhile, deep in Imperial space, High Admiral Krell Vorn listened to the same message, over and over. He stood alone in his private chamber, fists clenched. "They're not supposed to exist," he whispered. "We erased them. We erased the idea of them." He turned to Velis, who stood silently at the door. "How many systems received the signal?" "Thousands," she said. "Mostly outer systems, fringe colonies. But it's spreading." Vorn stared at her. "We can't let this grow. Deploy everything. I want that ship crushed before it becomes a symbol." Back aboard the Revenant, the crew was tense but ready. "We've confirmed rebel activity in 10 systems," Rhea reported. "Small fleets, mostly outdated ships, but they're moving. James Carter stood at the center of the command room. "The spark has caught," he said. "Now the Empire will try to stomp it out." Malik looked at the map. "They've launched a supercarrier, and 5 full fleets, all headed for this sector." Carter nodded. "Then we give them what they want." He pressed a point on the map. A dead star system. Empty, abandoned, surrounded by magnetic storms. "We lead them here. Narrow routes, blind sensors, limited support. We make them come to us." Rhea frowned. "We can't beat them in a full fight." "We don't have to," Carter said. "We just have to make them bleed. Show the galaxy they're not untouchable." Hours later, the Revenant jumped into the dying star system. Red clouds of gas drifted slowly around a burnt-out sun. The area was unstable, dangerous, but perfect for an ambush. Carter gave the order. "Ready the ship. Arm the beacon. We go loud." In the weapons bay, Malik activated the systems. Plasma cannons charged. Old Earth missiles, restored after decades, clicked into place. On the bridge, Carter stared at the stars. "This is the last quiet moment," he said. Rhea nodded. "Do you think they'll be afraid?" "They already are," he replied. Back in deep space, fleets began to arrive. Imperial warships dropped out of hyperspace in waves. Giant carriers, sleek destroyers, fast interceptors, all hunting one ship. Commander Velis stood on the bridge of the Iron Fist, eyes locked on her target. "There you are," she whispered. Time to end this, but she didn't know. Captain James Carter was already waiting, and the Revenant was ready to fight. The dying star glowed dimly behind a thick cloud of red gas. Jagged rocks floated through space, moving slowly but dangerously. This place had swallowed many ships before. Now it was the stage for something greater. The Revenant floated at the heart of the storm, silent and still. Inside the ship, Captain James Carter stood on the bridge. The crew was focused, calm. "Ready. Final systems check," Carter said. "All weapons charged," Malik replied. "Shields at maximum. Cloak is off. We want them to see us." Rhea added, "Beacon is armed. We can broadcast galaxy-wide with one push." Carter nodded. "Let them come." Moments later, space ripped open as dozens of Imperial ships jumped into the system. Carriers, destroyers, fighters, a full fleet, surrounding the Revenant. On the bridge of the Iron Fist, Commander Velis narrowed her eyes. "They're not running," she said. "They can't escape," her second-in-command replied. "This ends now. Launch all fighters. Target weapons. No mercy." The first wave came fast, dozens of sleek ships swarming like hornets. The Revenant moved calmly, almost slow, but when it struck, it hit hard. Plasma cannons roared, lighting up the dark sky. Missiles blasted through fighters, breaking their formation. The Revenant spun between rocks, using the terrain like a shield. Malik worked quickly at his station. "They're swarming the rear." "I see it," Carter said. He tapped a command. Small automated drones launched from hidden ports. They moved fast, dropping charges behind them. As Imperial ships chased the Revenant, the charges exploded, breaking their lines. On board the Iron Fist, Velis watched the chaos unfold. "They're using the field," she said, surprised. "They planned this." Another officer shouted, "We've lost 5 cruisers. 4 more are disabled." Velis gritted her teeth. "Enough. Focus all fire on the Revenant." Inside the ship, alarms blared. The hull shook. Shields dropped to 40%. Rhea shouted, "We can't hold this much longer." Carter didn't blink. "It's time." He walked to the central console and pressed a single button. The beacon activated. A blue wave burst out from the Revenant, silent and powerful. It passed through the storm, through the enemy fleet, through space itself, carrying a signal to every corner of the galaxy. The message was simple. "This is Captain James Carter, of the human warship Revenant. Humanity lives. The Empire lied. You are not alone. Rise." The beacon shared everything. Earth's last records, proof of survival, footage of the battle, and the truth of the Empire's crimes. All across the galaxy, people received it. In rebel hideouts, on Imperial colonies, even within the Empire's own ranks. And something shifted. Hope. Back in the storm, the battle raged on. The Revenant was damaged, smoking, but still alive. The enemy fleet, now in chaos, began to fall apart. Velas shouted over comms, "They've turned the whole galaxy against us. We have to pull back." But it was too late. The Revenant launched one final strike, its main cannon powered by the last of its core. The beam pierced the Iron Fist, slicing it in half. Commander Velas closed her eyes as her ship broke apart. Silence returned, floating in the ruins. The Revenant remained, scarred, burning, but unbroken. Inside, Carter looked at his crew, blood on his forehead, breath heavy. "Damage report?" he asked. Malik coughed. "Bad, but we're still here." Rhea looked up, her eyes wide. "Captain, we're getting signals, all over. Rebels, colonies, even Imperial defectors. They heard us. They're rising." Carter leaned back in his chair. "It's begun," he whispered. The Revenant drifted in silence. The battle was over, but the scars remained. The hull was cracked. Lights flickered in the corridors. The engines barely hummed. Fires had been put out, but smoke still lingered. Captain James Carter sat in his command chair. Blood stained his sleeve. He looked tired. Older somehow, but his eyes still held the same fire. "All systems holding?" he asked quietly. Malik answered from the engineering station, his voice weak. "Barely. But we're alive. Communications." Carter turned to Rhea. She looked up from her screen. "More than alive, sir. We're everywhere." She pressed a few buttons. The main screen lit up with messages, one after another, blinking across the galaxy. Names, ships, colonies. "This is the Outer Reach Resistance. We're ready. Phoenix Cell reporting. Armed and rising. Sarn system rebels confirm. Empire forces retreating." Even voices from within the Empire came through. A man in an Imperial uniform appeared on the screen. "I am Captain Leon Vero. I've seen the truth. I will no longer serve a lie. My crew stands with humanity." Carter listened in silence. Then he stood up slowly. "Open a channel," he said. Rhea nodded. "To who?" "To all of them." She pressed a button. Carter faced the camera, straight-backed, calm and firm. "This is Captain James Carter of the human warship Revenant. We have survived. We have fought. And we will not go back into the shadows. The Empire has ruled through fear. That ends now." He paused. "To every colony, every rebel, every voice that believed they were alone, you're not. We stand together now, not just as survivors, but as something stronger." He nodded once. "Humanity has returned." Outside, the stars seemed brighter. The Revenant, though damaged, still flew. Around it, small ships began to arrive. Rebel crafts, old transports, even defected Imperial fighters. A new fleet was forming, a fleet built on truth. Inside the ship, Carter sat back down. His crew around him, tired, hurt, but smiling. Rhea whispered, "You did it." "No," Carter said, shaking his head. "We did." A new signal flashed on the screen. It was from a distant colony. The voice was young, steady. "We heard you. We're ready." Carter closed his eyes for a moment, then opened them again, stronger. "Let's go meet them." The Revenant turned, engines glowing faintly, and moved forward into the stars, into the future, into a galaxy that would never be the same again.